All right, big shout out to my night owls rocking with us this evening. With that being said, I had a very strong start to the week, ended up killing it both ways, trading the SPYs, puts, and calls, mainly call focused on the dips. I'm going to be recapping the trades. I'm going to be showing you this unique price action trading strategy, and then we're going to be going over the important updated price action analysis for tomorrow along with the CPI data. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of my watch list that I had sent out within Trader Society, my main thesis for today is SPY should be bullish. This was posted at 6:03 a.m. in the pre-market. I said SPY, it should be a bullish day for SPY. I'll be looking for dip buying opportunities as we will likely close strong above $411. And that's literally exactly what happened. In terms of the overall trades, I'm going to be recapping those. I did plenty of scalps with win rates slightly above 70% today. And I had some very good scalps, man. Very good scalps on calls, 40% return. For a 10 strike, for 11 strike, 35% return. And then I played puts towards the peak at like 410.60, some price like that, 49% return on that. So I'm going to be recapping all these trades, man, because I did very, very well scalping the SPY, and that's what I truly do best. So let's get right into it. So in terms of the overall price action, let's start off in terms of the price action for tomorrow. This is what I want you to understand, and then we're going to recap the trades after this. So in terms of my video yesterday, I told you guys if you were interested in puts or if you were looking for a small pullback to scalp some puts, I told you guys that key 411.40, that's that main level, which was that support level right here. SPY had a gap to fill at 411.25, a lot of support at 411, 411.40. That was that key level where I told you guys in yesterday's video where I drew this red line. This is where we should see a small pullback on the SPY. And I did end up playing put options right here when it was at like $410.60. I was down a little bit at first. I held my puts and then I made a 50% return getting out when it hit like $409. So that was a really good trade based off that previous support reacting as a resistance. In terms of what I want you to understand heading into tomorrow, we're at make it or break it in terms of the micro price action for the SPY. So the reality of this situation is the SPY is sitting at key previous support, which is currently reacting as a resistance. So you could see right here, this is your key support on the SPY. Once it cracked this support, it had a quick sell off to $405. So this is what I need you to be aware of in terms of tomorrow. It had a quick sell-off to 405, and then the next day, it went even lower to 401.20, and then it went even lower. And this is what I want you to be aware. $411.40 to 412, this zone, SPY hit that previous support. It's reacting as a resistance as of now. If it drops under 410.97, and you see the previous closing price tomorrow, you see this go green to red, you will see that pullback. And in terms of, well, how big can this pull back? Well, I mean, you could just see right here in terms of this day, it dropped all the way to 405 and it was much higher. It was at a high of 419.96 and you got gaps to fill. You got a gap to fill below at 406.60 and you got a gap to fill below right here at $400.38. So let's start off with the bearish thesis. The bearish thesis is if you see SPY go green to red, if you see it crack 410.97, turn into resistance, it starts breaking down, forming those lower highs, the back side of the move, you're gonna want to play puts and it will likely get crushed to fill the gap at 406.60 as long as it can turn that key 411.40 into resistance and stay below 412. Now, in terms of key levels to be locking in profits, your key levels to really be locking in gains, locking in profits would be 408.50 and 406.60. And then what I want you to understand is there's going to be a gap to fill below at 406.60. When it fills that gap, if you see it bounce, it reacts to support, it's going to have a reversal and it will likely have a quick pop back to this previous support at 408.44, right? So now you know. If it cracks 411, it's reacting bearish. It's going to be on track for a pullback to 408.50. If that cracks, we will fill the gap at 406.60. When we fill the gap, we will likely bounce back to 408.50. which could be another put opportunity for a scalp. We have to see how it reacts, right? So in terms of calls, potentially scalp calls at 406.60. Now, what would be the best level for calls heading into this week? The lower gap. What I want you to understand is we're talking about downside potential, potential upside potential, right? So we spoke about that. So in terms of more downside potential, if we crack 406.60 and that reacts as a resistance level, you will see bigger downside potential as there's a gap to fill below at $400.38. So the best price you can buy calls this week is at $400.38. We got two gaps to fill below. So say it's looking bullish at $406.60 and you buy calls, you don't risk a lot on that. These are gap close reversals. These are trend reversal levels. If it cannot work at this level, then it's going to go to the next level. Meaning if calls cannot work here, if it cannot consolidate and bottom at 406.60 gap, then it goes to the next gap that's waiting to fill below within some time at 438, right? So those are the two key reactions that I'm looking for in terms of gap fills. What we should definitely see a reversal at $400.38 if this flips super bearish this week. Now let's talk upside potential, right? So let's talk about upside potential. The bulls need to break out, and they need to break out quickly here. So what we need to see happen from a bullish theory is it needs to stay above $410.97. That needs to remain a support level. Then you need to see it break above 412. If it can break above 412 and react as a support level and continue to maintain this bullish momentum, where will be the next price that the SPY goes to overall? Overall, it will be on track to go to 414 to 415. That would be the next price target if it can break above 412 and react bullish. So that's the bullish thesis. That's the bearish thesis, right? Just remember, puts are going to print if we go under 411. Overall targets 408.50, 406.60. If we hit 406.60, we likely see a quick bounce to 408.80, but we have to see how it reacts. And then if that reacts as a resistance, that could be another opportunity for puts. If 406.60 breaks down, then we will see a $400 gap fill later this week, and that'd be the best price for calls. So those are my key levels. So again, the key levels, $410.97 is the key make or break level right now. That's going to be the level that determines if we're going to quickly try to break out past this 412, rocket to 414, 415, or if we're going to break down and fill that gap at 406.60, right? And then other key levels, 408.50, 406.60, and $400, right? So those are all of our key levels. So key levels heading into tomorrow, 410.97, also 412 resistance. You could say 415 as well. We got to see how this all reacts. 408.50, 406.60, and $400. So that's the game plan in terms of trading both ways on the SPY tomorrow. We have to see how this reacts. You could see right here, you got a bearish doji during extended hours. SPY was also forming a lot of bearish dojis at this key 411 trend reversal level. Plenty of put scalping opportunities, man. It's like this was in terms of scalping, this was a fairly easy day with the SPY. Everyone should have been green in terms of scalping today. There was so many bearish confirmations at that 411.40 level that I gave out in yesterday's video, and there were so many dojis. You have a doji right here, it sells off at that key resistance. I talk about this all the time. Just look at how many times SPY formed a doji. It formed a doji, the gravestone doji, right? At the key resistance that I discussed yesterday, which was the best price to buy puts today, right? Literally said 411.40. And I did scalp puts on those opportunities, not all the time, but I did it like 2 times. And it was nice 40%, 50% gainers. And then in terms of calls, I took advantage of scalping calls, utilizing the history in terms of the chart that I was looking at and the history that I was looking at today to really determine the call side. It was looking overall bullish, and it was looking like a very similar pattern to the past 2 days. That's what it was really looking like to me. If you were to look at the 30-minute candles on September 8th and September 9th, you would see a lot of similar patterns where SPY has this big red candle, and you could just see it recovers. Big red candle, it recovers. Big red candle, it recovers, right? When it closes like that towards the tip. And then it forms the bullish candlestick, and then it follows up with more bullish candlesticks. I took advantage of calls here at 409, 409.50. I bought calls here and had a very nice win on that. And then I took advantage of calls into the close as well, right around here when we were at $410.30. Bought calls, rode this back up to 410.80. all using the past 2 days pattern. Like I said, if you were to compare the 30-minute chart, you would see a lot of similar patterns. Look at this: red, green, red, and on the second red bar, it's a nice red bar, and then it recovers. And then we have the same thing again: red, green, red, and then on this, after the second red bar, it recovers, right? So I'm seeing the patterns. I'm seeing the history repeat itself. I'm utilizing the 30-minute chart. That has been the greatest edge in terms of me trading the SPY. As of recently, the 30-minute chart has been helping me out tremendously. So yeah, overall, this was a phenomenal day, man. This was a phenomenal day, and the 411.40 put play worked out very, very nicely. And this was all alerted real time within the SPY, within the SPX floor. For those of you within Trader Society, I mean, you're well aware on how good the scalps were today in terms of SPY and SPX. They were so on point. I just had endless wins. It was 70% win rate, very, very small losses, and the wins were like 30% to 50% gainers in and out within like 5 to 20 minutes, very, very quickly. And that's what I'm going to stick to, scalping like a sniper, because that's what I do best. So that's my thoughts. That's my analysis heading into tomorrow in terms of the SPY. Like, what do I think about the CPI data and all that stuff? I really don't care. I just wait to see how it reacts, and then I look for the overreaction, right? So yeah, it's going to be extremely simple. Like, if we see a massive sell-off in the pre-market, then I'm going to look for dip buying opportunities. That's what I'm looking for. I'll look for a dip buying opportunity at 406.60 or at 400 if a massive sell-off were to occur in the pre-market. And then I look for puts towards the key levels, right? We got to see how it reacts at 410.97. Best price for puts if we gap down is 410.97 if we gap down. If SPY gaps up tomorrow, we got to see how it responds. If it goes green to red, that's bearish. If it stays green and breaks above 412, then we're going to go to 414, 415. I'm going to crush it tomorrow. SPY has been extremely predictable. I've been experimenting with everything. And guys, I'm telling you, I'm all in on SPY. All my focus is on the SPY in terms of predictability, in terms of profitability, in terms of the lucrative trading returns. It's insane, man. I'm telling you, the volume on these options was not like this, man. It's insane, man. The volume on the SPY options, it just gets bigger and bigger as time goes on. People are really starting to figure out like options is really the way. It's insane. We had 3.5 million in call volume and 4.6 million in puts. Like, these numbers, these are insane numbers. This is extremely high, and it's only going to get bigger, man. I've seen it, man. A lot of people who are trading penny stocks, a lot of people who've made a lot of money pumping penny stocks. I've seen on Twitter, they're really starting to wake up and realize, man, if I just trade SPY, this would be the way. It's like a penny stock nonstop. These 0-date expirations are moving 10% a minute. Like, I've had calls today that made 50% in like 5-10 minutes. It's insane. It's like trading a penny stock nonstop. And if you know how to do it, you can do very, very well. So yeah, I mean, this is really the new wave, and this is my, main focus. And it's been like this for years. I've always been dialed in and focused on the SPY. But throughout this past year, I've really kind of swayed back from stocks, and I'm keeping all my focus on SPY, because this is the thing to master, man. This is what the wealthy people are trading. This is where the liquidity is. This is where the lucrative trading returns are. And it's not just because of that. It's because of predictability. In terms of getting to know a stock, I've tried to get to know a lot of tickers. The one that I know the best is the SPY. And once you understand how it moves and how the price action works, I'm telling you, it is highly predictable. Using this strategy, using patterns, seeing how this history repeats itself, this is highly, highly predictable. I mean, look, you tell me, how simple does this look, right? It's very, very simple pattern recognition. When it forms this big red candle with this top little wick here, and then it opens up green on the 30-minute, it has a reversal. And that's what it did today right here. And then, like I said, the red, green, red pattern, and then it starts going green and has the reversal, right? Very, very similar patterns and similar price action, to Thursday and Friday. And also, I mean, in terms of key giveaways, in terms of why was I so bullish in the pre-market, because at 6 a.m. I literally said, within the watch list analysis, I literally said it should be a very bullish day. I'll be looking for dip buying opportunities, as we will likely close strong above 411. And I told you guys yesterday, if it's going to be a bullish day, I'm going to look to potentially play puts at 411.40. And I did that twice. So with that being said, one of the dead giveaways was, it had a very nice breakout at the previous closing price. It previously closed at 406.60, had a very nice breakout in the pre-market, rocketing to 409.50, and then you have a nice double bottom, and you have a very nice bullish pin right here at 9 a.m., which is key. That SPY is going to start to break out. See this nice bullish candlestick, and then it starts to break out. See this nice bullish candlestick, then it starts to break out. I'm telling you, this 30-minute chart has been the game changer, and it's providing a lot of opportunities. Not every single new 30-minute candle, but there's a lot of opportunities on the next 30-minute candle that opens. Like, for example, you have this red, green, red pattern, and then when the new 30-minute candle opens, it should have that reversal. And I studied that pattern, and I realized it's the same thing, man. Green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. Green, right? You don't even need to know the name of these candlesticks. You just need to understand how the pattern works, how the history repeats itself. Very, very simple. And that was one of my best trades on calls, is when I bought that dip at 409.50. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts. That's my analysis. Tomorrow should be a highly predictable day. I'm telling you, if you want to be a part of Trader Society, this is the best time to be joining. It's a one-time fee. It's a lifetime access. Once you join, you get instant lifetime access to everything. You could start trading with us live tomorrow. In terms of the chat room, you get access to the best room within the chat. I'm telling you, the SPY server. There's nothing like this server. It's a group of traders that are laser focused and dedicated to mastering the SPY. And then you get access to all the other channels, my real-time trade alerts, my stock analysis, my watch analysis, the live trading. There's a lot more to it. And then, of course, the video lesson library. The video lesson library is going to give you the education to trading. It's going to show you everything it is that I've learned over the past decade of trading. It's going to show you how to trade options, when to be bullish, when to buy calls, when to be bearish, when to buy puts. As time goes on, there's going to be new lessons added as well. There's over 30 hours of content in there in terms of videos, and then there's over 100 hours of content in terms of all the webinars, right? Because the webinars, they're live, and then they're also recorded, so you can go back and watch them. You get access to the live trading that we do every single day, and there's a lot to it. So if you want to check it out, I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description. It's the first link. As soon as you sign up, you get instant lifetime access. I will see you guys tomorrow at market open. We are going to absolutely crush it, man. I'm telling you, man. Today, if you thought today was phenomenal, just wait until tomorrow. I'm gonna absolutely crush it tomorrow. I'm telling you, man. Just back to back, 40% win, 40% win, 50% win, all trading the SPY, man. And I'm gonna kill it and crush it tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a very simple, highly predictable day, just like today was. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis. I will see you guys tomorrow with the further updates.